Anime Vanguards gave us 2 new units with tournaments. The big question is, are they good or are they bad? I am Cucu, your trustworthy tier list maker, and I am here to answer these questions. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Discord since there will be a giveaway once we hit 1k subs. Starting off, we have Mahito. Mahito is a 3 placement unit with a medium line AoE attack. His line is not that small, that's why it's called a medium line AoE, and he deals a total of 5,799 without passives. And then we have his first passive, that is Transfiguration, which allows his attacks to ignore damage reduction and deals 40% more damage to enemies with an active status effect. So he's good if you pair him with burn units, if you pair him with slow units or stun units, whatever, so he's really good for that. And then his second passive is called Stored Souls, which accumulates 5% of his damage per kill, up to a maximum of 200%, and then every 4th attack he releases his stored damage, which deals an additional, not in total, an additional 200% of his base damage. And after calculating his DPS with both passives, it reaches up to 14,205 DPS. And yes, this does account the 200% damage every 4th attack, and it's in the spreadsheet too, the way I calculated it. It's a complete damage separate with a new SPA, and then you add both of those, and that's why it's pretty high, making him rank in top 7 spot, if I'm not wrong, in total DPS. Next up is Mechamaru. Mechamaru is a 4 placement unit with a small circle AoE. He initially starts with a burn effect, but later on loses it, and his DPS is a total of 4,881 without passives. Mechamaru has 2 passives. His first passive is Heating Up, which grants him the burn effect, and 10% SPA reduction, 1% per attack. His second passive is Stored Energy, which removes the burn effect and grants him Blast Element, meaning he does have 2 elements after upgrade 8. And also he gains a 200% damage boost, but this bonus decreases by 30% each attack, eventually reaching only a 60% damage boost. And this makes the unit pretty bad if you count the 60% damage boost. But if you know how to use his second passive correctly, you can take really good advantage, because with that 200% damage boost, he's actually the highest DPS unit in game, but it only lasts for 1 attack, and the second attack is also pretty high, but he does lose it temporarily. So if you know how to use him, let's say you have a boss that leaks, or a really high HP enemy, you just place Mechamaru, get him to upgrade 8, and he will absolutely devour the HP of the enemy, especially if you have something that scales with damage, let's say Monarch or Ethereal. You guys will notice that he does a lot of damage with that. He is the highest dealing damage. He is the highest DPS in game, but only for 1 attack. So yeah, use that as you may. After calculating both of these passives, his DPS goes up to 11,570. This accounts the 60% constant damage buff, not the 200% buff that only lasts a move. So this is what he's going to be doing around all time in average. Okay, so now let's talk about the infinite tier list. As you guys see, the tier list name is update 1.25 because we're not in update 1.5 yet, and I already launched an update 1 tier list. So yeah, this only includes 2 new changes, which is Mahito and Mechamaru. I didn't change anything else because I still stand with the last tier list. Now let's talk about Mahito. Mahito is behind Igris because Igris still is, even though he has less damage than Mahito, he is full AoE, and it's really important in Infinite to have full AoE units, so that's why he's behind him. And he's in front of Sung Jin-woo because Sung Jin-woo does lack in damage. He does have summons, that's probably the only good part of him, but his AoE is pretty bad and his damage is lacking. Now let's talk about Mahito. Mahito does have that OP ability that gives him 200% damage every 4th attack, and that's plus 200%. It's not just double, it's plus 200%. So that's really OP, and as you guys know, I calculated that DPS, and it actually puts him in 7th spot. Yeah, in spot number 7 of highest DPS units. So that's why he's there. He's a line AoE, a good like it's a big size line AoE. It's not a small thin line. It's a big line AoE, and yeah, he's 3 placements, pretty good range. I would get, if you're a free-to-play player and you have Mahito, I would get probably marksman or like hunter if you don't want to spend that much traits on him, because he could have higher range and that would make him even better, or just have like a speed trait like blitz or speed. And now we have Mechamaru. Mechamaru is a 4 placement unit that also has an interesting ability, which is really good for boss killing if you know how to use it, as I said earlier, but he is pretty lacking in damage when you exclude those 2 moves that he does more damage. So that's why he's behind Naruto. Naruto is really good. He has a lot of DPS, that's why he was not even close to Naruto. And he is a little bit better than Toji, because like Toji has less damage than Mechamaru, and Mechamaru has a little bit better AoE than Toji. So that's why he is placed in front of Toji and behind Naruto. Now we're gonna talk about the story tier list. Mahito does have a jump here because Mahito is actually one of the highest 3 placement DPS units, because if you guys notice in the spreadsheet that you guys can check, it's down in the description, a lot of the highest DPS units is because of their placements. It's because they're 4 or 5, and then comes Mahito. He's actually the highest DPS, being a 3 placement, so he's even higher than Gojo in DPS. So that's why Mahito is there, because that 4th attack dealing the 200% extra damage is really good for him. So that's why he has that jump. And Mechamaru actually falls off a little bit because he is a 4 placement, and in story you don't want that much 4 placements, because you want as much damage as possible with least amount of placements possible. So that's why Mahito actually goes a little bit higher and Mechamaru goes a little bit lower. So yeah, that's pretty much it for both tier lists. I don't want to make this video long, as I said, so just leave a like if you liked it. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Also, everything is in the spreadsheet. You can check the page where I calculated Mahito's DPS, and if you don't understand it, you can ask me and I'll try to explain it for you guys. Don't forget also to join the Discord, because there's going to be giveaways. And yeah guys, don't forget to leave a sub, leave a like, and see you guys in the next one.